Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel. Welcome to the World of Football podcast. And the Premier League season may have finished, but tonight we're going to do a season review, and we are also going to preview the Euros as well. It's nice to be back in hosting duties tonight. Joining me as usual is my co-host Josh. How you doing, Josh?
Doing okay. Thank bloody God Chelsea didn't bottle top four yesterday, otherwise I would be out that fucking window trying to hunt down every single Chelsea player on the earth. Yeah, we got lucky. Spurs, I bloody love you. Ryan Mason's a sexy little man.
Something you're not.
That was a bit harsh. Two below the belt, that one. We've also joined by Nathan. How you doing, Nathan?
Very well, thank you, Doug. Still tired. Want football to return. It's been 3 weeks with nothing on. Still can't watch football in Wales either.
Never jealous.
Going to end.
Never jealous.
I am indeed.
Don't rub it in, Mr. Bell. Don't rub it in. We're also joined by Reece Russell. How you doing, Reece?
Yeah, I'm merry as usual. I'm no long finished work, so consider this a blessing.
And also we've been joined by George Kyle as well. How you doing, George?
Very good, Doug. Thank you again for having me. Really looking forward to the show. Obviously, as you said, the end of the league season, but obviously there's still a couple of European ties that are coming up within the next week. And then, of course, as you said, the Euros, which it's going to be really good to watch and exciting after obviously being postponed for a year due to COVID. So really looking forward to discussing that as well. So thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Let's say hello to a few people. James Dunlopson. Hello, James. Good evening to Hella as well. Did you get to kiss him, Josh? Chelsea definitely scraped it. Rodgers bottling it as usual.
Okay, watch what you say in the chat, mate, or you're going to get a decking.
Now, you may have noticed something has changed in the comments section. Now, what I will say, there's a wee dollar sign. Yes, I have been monetized by YouTube. So if you would like to send in a super chat, then you are very free to do so, and you can send in the super sticker as well. That is very weird saying that. I never thought I'd be saying this a year ago, but here we go. Where we are today, we are monetized. But thank you everyone who continues to watch the videos. I really do appreciate it.
All proceeds from the super chat will go directly to my new football shirts.
But Ness, let's talk about the Premier League, and we'll start with the top four because yesterday Liverpool and Chelsea pipped Leicester City after Leicester City being in the top four for 37 out of 38 game weeks. They lost out to Chelsea and Liverpool. Josh, you must be a relieved man for sure.
Why did you have to come to me first? I've stressed enough about this over the past 24 hours, and I've got a chat. We could even beat Aston Villa, who were on the beach with their feet up and having a couple of drinks. We have to go away to Manchester City, who tanked Everton 5-0. Listen, don't get me wrong. From when Lampard got sacked, Tuchel came in. We've got fourth place, but the fact we had to rely on Ryan bloody Mason and Harry Kane, he's got half his feet out the door to win. Thank God Brendan Rodgers did a bottle job because Chelsea got lucky. Honestly, the best moment of yesterday to me was when Thomas Tuchel was shouting to the Chelsea players, "It's over, it's over. You can fucking relax." That was the best bit about yesterday for me.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan, it was quite a dramatic day yesterday. Obviously, with Aston Villa beating Chelsea, I called it, Josh. I told you would get beat by Villa. I called it.
Oi!
But what I will say, Nathan, it was a bit of a dramatic day, as we said yesterday. But you wouldn't have envisaged it turning out the way it did, would you?
Not at all. Firstly, I thought it'd be quite a quiet one, sort of thing, staying the same way that they were. I mean, all three teams were relegated. Usually, there's one that is just around there because you usually have the 17th place team and then up to 15th where they could all get relegated or even hold bottom three exposed. But it was really only for the Champions League places this season. Got quite dramatic. I mean, Leicester dropping out of the top four. No. But Brendan Rodgers dropping out of the top four. Ha 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 ha! Have that! I could say worse by not getting demonetized. So
Yeah, well, Nathan, I do have to say this to you, Lou, okay?
go on.
Just remember, Lou, you could very well still be seeing Swans in the Premier League next year.
Yeah, but they're going straight back
Get
down
it
on
up,
bottom
ye.
points. They're going straight back down on bottom points. Look at the state of that squad. I mean, they're not even the biggest
Yeah.
club in Wales. Come on. But
Yeah,
either way,
boy
that's
says
true.
it was a. Yeah, boy says it was a good season for Leicester, but another stupid ending to the season. We might need to spend 300 million in the summer to get fourth place. Chelsea, they owe it all to Spurs, says Hella.
they
Hello
do.
to Liz Golden. Hope you're doing well. As well. Chelsea got away with one yesterday. Yeah, absolutely. They certainly did. How cool was it to have a drink and just watching the mayhem? Yeah, absolutely. Quite a day for Manny to remember. He's a goal scoring winner. Better late than never, though. Yeah, absolutely. I'm still getting used to this new phone. Pouring salt in the wood there for Josh. Hey there, Hella. We have no attacking options other than Iheanacho, Vardy, and Maddison and Barnes. Yeah, Reece.
Perez is decent. Perez is decent as well. Like
he is, but he hasn't been the best this season. But how pivotal was it when they lost Wesley Fofana yesterday? Because I think once they lost Fofana, they obviously had to put Ndidi to centre back and bring Mendy on.
Yeah. Also, just want to say I call Villa beating Chelsea as well. Just saying. What I would say yesterday is it was quite obvious that it went to a makeshift back three, and Ndidi, like as good as he is, he's not comfortable at centre back. Like he doesn't cope with the position very well. And you saw yesterday just how shaky he was. Gareth Bale, in a nutshell, tore him apart. It's probably the first time I've said that all season as well. But he did. Like, I thought Gareth Bale yesterday, when he got into the right positions, he tore it apart, and it just shows us how crucial Fofana is, even for a 19-year-old. Like he's vital in that defence, and there's a lot to it.
Josh, thank you very much for the super chat. Only right I have the first man. Enjoy the Big Mac. Thank you. Thank you very much for the first super chat on the Doggett Football channel. I really do appreciate that. Kane Dolan is agreeing with you, Nathan. I want Brentford to win that final.
That's what I want.
Basically, the entire UK want Brentford to win that final. I mean, it'll be more entertaining because that club, they've been fighting it for a few years. They've really been pushing for it. They got a great squad. They can actually sustain in the Premier League as well. They have the funds and the backing to build. It'll bring a different element to the Premier League instead of the second biggest club in Wales. Probably Graham Potter, not Graham Potter, what am I about? Steve Cooper, who's probably going to end up getting sacked after not being backed at all and then completely plummeting them on record points back down to the Championship with us laughing.
Steve Cooper's been named with the Crystal Palace job now, which is...
I heard that.
Him and Lampard now are the two favourites to go for it, which is... I hope Lampard gets it. I hope Lampard gets it. Of course,
it feels good that like I got a prediction right and wrong at the same time. It feels good. I said Bournemouth would beat Brentford. I did say that.
Yes.
But it feels good that Brentford still went through because Brentford I want to go back up. But I'm already calling it now. Brentford, Watford, and Norwich are going straight back down next season.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you could be right. George, what did you make of the drama unfolding yesterday?
I was quite relaxed actually. It was quite nice to be after what happened last season, when Manchester United needed to beat Leicester, and how how tense that particular match was. It was quite nice to be in a position of relative comfort compared to the other teams, and yeah, it was quite interesting how it was unfolding. I thought Liverpool would always be the safe one. Having relatively speaking, probably the most straightforward of the matches of all three of them. And Leicester have really suffered from what was. I mean, obviously they beat us, but again, I've spoken about United sort of as soon as they knew we'd mathematically got top four. With pretty much the last week or a half or 2 weeks has been an absolute. All the players are on holiday. It just feels like they just don't care. And obviously, they ultimately gifted Liverpool 3 points, gifted Leicester 3 points. But Leicester, we always knew when we were sort of discussing who was going to get top four. We always knew Leicester did have this really difficult run-in, and obviously Liverpool had quite a simple one, or at least a more straightforward one. And so it's proved. I mean, Leicester just couldn't get the enough points, and ultimately Liverpool obviously beating us again. Like I said, it wasn't necessarily as clear cut as it could have been, because like I said, Man United just didn't that match, they just couldn't. It was very obvious they just didn't care enough. It was absolutely disgusting from a supporter's point of view to see the lack of effort and enthusiasm was disgraceful. But Liverpool obviously got the what Leicester really needed was for Liverpool not to win that many games in a row. Which sounds obvious, but it didn't seem like Liverpool had the form before this period to win that many games, and that's why most people thought Leicester would do it. But ultimately, Leicester again are the first of the losers, same as they were last season. And obviously, as Yeti Boy said, I mean, in terms of the funding, I'm one of those people who does believe that there are obviously other factors that come into play in terms of how successful a club is, but I think money is the primary factor. And that's why you see this big four constantly becoming because of the depth of the squads. Leicester do have amazing recruitment, but at the same time, you still see their best players. Over the past few years, you still see them moving on because to the club. So what they need to do is they need to try and retain some of the better players, but also they probably are going to need to invest heavily because ultimately, it's no good coming fifth every year. They do need to break into that top four, and I think the only way to do that is to have quite a lot, at least a larger one than they normally would, monetary outlay. But obviously,
from what I've heard, they are looking to. From what I've heard, Rodgers wants one or two serial winners in his team. He wants to add at least 2 winners to his squad. Depends on where it goes. For me, if he wants winners in that squad, he needs a winner in midfield. He needs a winner at centre back. For me personally.
I'd like to add on a little bit to there as well. Leicester are sort of in the same boat as Everton that have been for the last 10 years, because they need to decide whether they want to be that mid-table to relegation fighting club, or do they want to push on, go into the Champions League places, maybe challenge for a few league titles. They need to get that long-term plan in place instead of looking towards the first season. So, for example, we're just going to keep hitting Europa League. They really need to make a decision. Say, for example, when Rodgers goes, who's going to build on it? Are they going to start to tumble back down the Premier League table into the 14th place finishes, the 15th that they had under the likes of Claude Puel and those sort of caliber managers, and Craig Shakespeare as well, may I add? They have to make a long-term plan.
Yeah, evening to Chris Welsh, who was at the Liverpool game yesterday. Hope you had a good time and managed to see us win, which was always a good thing, and get third place. Yeah, I'm still amazed we got third place, to be honest with you. Seamus Moore, good evening to you. Palace might struggle next season. Depends who they get in to manage them.
They will either way.
I wonder what everyone thinks of Daniel James. Awful miss in front of goal. Oh God, I saw that on Match of the Day last night.
Just ask the lads what I said in our group chat, and that'll tell you how I feel about it.
Absolutely.
There's your answer. Literally, as soon as Dan James missed, I went straight to our group chat. I was absolutely fuming.
Evening to Ashley Roberts. Evening, Hella. Liam Carson, thank you very much for the super chat. There you go, Doug. I'll miss this podcast. You'll never walk alone. Thank you very much, Liam. Really do appreciate that. I think Leicester won Dan James on loan from United. He could become good for us like Lingard was for West Ham.
I think he will as well.
You can take Dan James permanently, and you'll honestly do us all a favour.
No, I think he meant Big Sam, Liz. I think he meant Big Sam.
Reece, why did you guys sign Dan James? What was the actual reason behind it?
Apparently, he's meant to be a squad player, but frankly, the recruitment they're just brain dead.
I think it was because he came heavily recommended by Ryan Giggs. That was the sort of thing with him.
Which is the worst decision you can do in football.
You can't trust that man.
And I think
to him.
The other thing
he only got signed.
Price was he was obviously always going to be a good. Obviously at 15 million, I think it was. So it was always worth.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it necessarily was worth a punt.
He only got signed. He only got signed because he only got signed partly for the 15 million, but he got signed because that one goal he scored in the Championship where he ran 95 yards pretty much like on his own, carrying the ball at speed. And they're like, oh, he'll do nicely. No, he's shit.
But then again, he did do a lot of great moments in the Championship before, because, of course, his signing to Leeds back in January for about, I can't remember how much it was. It was quite a hefty fee, maybe £15 million.
It was about 15 to 20.
The Swansea owners were disgraceful in that too, in the way they treated Leeds in that transfer. It was utter disgrace how that transfer.
Yeah, it was.
They deserved a transfer embargo for that personally because it went over the line. The owners, well, it was all signed off by the club and Leeds. It gone through. They just refused to approve it, which was completely ridiculous. But then again, there was a massive stretch of matches where he was super consistent, playing some lovely football for them, even though that was under Graham Potter and whatever he goes, he plays lovely football.
Yeah.
Not that it turns it into wins, but that's the only thing that it feels weird. I'm defending an ex-Swansea player here, but I do see the potential in it. I've seen him personally as well, especially in Wales, and he is something for the future. He's a key player for us, and it just seems weird how you can go from Man United, where he's a bit, oh boy, what's happening here, and then goes to Wales, and he's like a second coming of Ryan Giggs.
That's virtually what he is, like, in terms of, like, he turns up international, but for the club football, by Christ, he doesn't. Even when he plays, like, there's nothing in there. I mean, fair enough, I'll give him the credit. He brought it for a brilliant cross yesterday.
Yeah.
But that was it. That's it. Like, I could have done that with my eyes closed. I could have done that with my eyes closed, my left foot.
Ashley Roberts, I'm very gutted to see Gini go. I'm going to be honest. I think he's been one of our most consistent midfielders for a long, long time. Never injured, absolutely consistent. He's like a robot. He's never injured. So,
I think it's good for you lot, though.
Absolutely gutted to see him go.
I think it's good that you're letting him go. I think we've had that conversation before where we spoke about Wijnaldum, and I said it's good to actually see where you go from here because he is getting on, and as good a player he is, you can't keep relying on a player that is pushing 30, and his style of play, yes, it might suit Liverpool, but can you realistically trust how long he's going to last? I mean, physically, no. Yeah. I think you could still bring in a similar midfielder, but 5 or 6 years younger, and just mould them into a player hitting their prime. I think that's better for Liverpool, personally. I think
the thing is, like, people have been saying to us that the reason we got top 4, I mean, was I think 8 wins in our last 10 games, which was incredible, absolutely incredible. And to get top 4 is fantastic. I mean, I never thought we would beat Manchester United away, and I never saw that one coming. I didn't see us. I could maybe see us obviously beating West Brom. I could see us beating Burnley, Palace. Palace were the last team to beat us in front of fans. So, but I'm delighted we got 3rd place, and we finished above a team that spent 228.7 million. It's also looking like that. It's also looking like if you lose the Champions League final, then that's a poor season for you. There have been a couple of comments about Spain's squad. Yes, I have noticed Sergio Ramos is not in there.
That Spain squad, they're not getting past quarterfinals. They're not getting past quarterfinals.
Yeah.
I also think that they got a good young squad and a good young core there, but I think over the last 10 to 15 years, this is possibly Spain's weakest squad that they've ever had. And there's something that worries me about it. I think this is going to be a disaster tournament for them.
I just think what's funny is that they've got... Laporte couldn't get into the France squad, so they give him into the Spain squad. And what do? They bring Eric Garcia as moral support.
Asamoah somehow made the squad. I don't know.
He's actually a good defender, though. There's a difference.
No, he's not. He's not this good. He's not that good.
Embarrassing red card, by the way, yesterday. Yeah. That was embarrassing.
Our captain.
He's a captain at the Chelsea Football Club, and he's basically putting his fist into Jack Grealish. Absolutely ridiculous. But do you know what? This is the problem I think that Chelsea have had. There are no leaders in that team. Nope. I don't see any leaders in that team. And the thing is, you look at Liverpool yesterday. Like, they had James Milner come on. Henderson was on the bench. Henderson's coming back. But the problem I see with Chelsea is no leaders in that team, and I think that might cost you against City.
I think it's
the only one's Silva.
I think it's also if Manchester City get maybe 2 goals or anything like that, I don't see, as Josh will know, many a time I've said about Chelsea forwards, I just I don't see them getting the amount of goal. Chelsea only seem to score against good teams. They seem to almost sort of like ride their luck, and obviously with Villa, you almost saw the game had gone really, because Chelsea's forwards are just not good enough. Obviously, they'll probably be in for a striker this summer. But as you sort of mentioned, Doug, the amount of money they spent on various players like Ziyech, Havertz, Werner, probably another 5 or 6 I'm not even mentioning. It's quite amazing, really, that they only just scraped top 4, after such a heavy investment.
I just want to go and hide right now. I guess
Manchester United, George, has progress been made this season?
No, because he's still Solskjaer.
It's very difficult to say, really. There's, again, I could probably bore on for hours and hours, but I'll try and, in my view, not really. I still think that we still do need a few players, which, in certain key positions, but the board probably won't back him sufficiently with the amount of money that we need. And I still feel like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer relies upon the wrong players. I think we saw yesterday as well. We saw how good. Obviously, Nemanja Matic can't play every game of the season because he's so old, and in terms of fitness levels. But we saw that Donny van de Beek is certainly a very capable footballer and hasn't really been utilised by Solskjaer at all. We still see Lindelof playing, and I really don't rate him at all. The amount of mistakes that he's made, and I find that Ollie, kind of has the wrong favourites. And ultimately, I think the mentality has been very, very poor in certain parts of the season. Very defensive football, at times quite poor standard of football. And, again, I sort of come back to it, but I think in key moments of the season, we've really struggled with mentality and also with play style and, getting the job done. Again, the champion, obviously, we win the Europa League final, that's a chance of silverware, but the only reason that we got there was because we bottled, what was seemingly an unassailable lead in that group. We only needed 1 point in those final 2 games and lost both of them. Obviously, the semi-final against Man City in the League Cup, the fact that we were top in January, and then, again, you might have thought the Man City squad would have eventually saw them over, but I think the way that we lost that lead was unacceptable. I think it was too quick. There wasn't a case of trying to grind out results. It was almost as though they got a nosebleed that they were there at the summit of the table for once at that time of the season, and again they just sort of lost it. And I think Ollie played far too cautiously and pragmatically. Particularly, obviously, I think the real point that I would say is that in that 0-0 against you guys at Anfield, that was a real chance for us to win in that match. And that was after that, obviously, you guys lost how many on the bounce? Was it 6 or 7? At Anfield.
6.
So that was a real point where we could have got 3 points, and I feel like there were too many 0-0 draws, too many draws, full stop. It was a very disappointing season, which will have a slight redemption with the Europa League, trophy. But for me, that's scant consolation given the fact that Chelsea, obviously, as Josh knows, and obviously Manchester City are in the Premier competition in Europe in the finals. So,
yeah. Liz Golden, thank you so much for the super chat. Third place after an injury-ridden crap season is just fine for me. Yep, I would absolutely agree with that. Thank you very much for the super chat. You guys are very, very nice to me. I've had one from Josh, had one from Liam Carson, I had one from Liz Golden, so thank you very, very much. Reece, unbeaten away from home for another season, and You'd have to say that your away form is probably better than your home form. Is that something to improve next season?
George will never be happy with Ollie.
It's an interesting one because it's a mirroring contrast. I mean, the season before, our home form was better than our away form, and then you fast forward to January last year, and it all changes. The away form is better than the home form. It's like a stark contrast. But yeah, I certainly think so. I mean, there's some fair points raised by George. Some of them I completely disagree with. The one being, well, we won't mention Lindelof because we'll be here all night. But the one I disagree with is the one about Man United being at the top of the league. I said it like one of our last shows. I said, frankly, Man United were lucky to be top of the league. That team's never been there before, and the players have not been at the top of the league, period. So I don't think, frankly, they would have held the nerve. If you've never been top of the league before, you're not going to be able to hold elite. But if you know, if you have the players in the squad that can develop and then show it, then yes, there's winners in there. Like you could say Pogba, You could say Bruno Fernandes to an extent. You could say Mata, like because he's won trophies as well. Matic, he's won a league title with Chelsea twice. So there are players who have been top of the league before, but some of this team hasn't. So I don't think. Yes, it's a fair point that we lost the league too quickly, but they've never been there before. So I don't think the league was going to last long. As soon as we got to the top, I genuinely thought it would last a few weeks, and it did. Like, it just shows that it wasn't there.
I suppose another thing you could say though is that your youth there's a lot of good youth coming through. Elanga yesterday scoring his first goal. What a header, by the way! Oh,
proper bullet header.
Beautiful.
It's just a cross waiting to be finished. And
2 games, more goals than Ryan Brewster.
Yeah,
Ryan Brewster's played 27 games. Elanga's played 2, and he scored. Brewster wasn't. But I think it's brilliant.
But yeah, I mean, second place. I mean, you know, fair credit to you guys.
I said we get second all season. I'm actually shocked that we did. But I think it's good. I'm
pretty sure
that
you
I got
said
that
we
one
get
right.
third as well. I'm pretty sure you said to me we would get third.
I said top 4 would be Man City, Man United, Liverpool, and I said Chelsea. In the exact order that top 4 was. I said the exact order as well. So, but I got the relegation zone wrong. I got like 2 out of 3. That annoyed me. But it's true. We were unbeaten. We got some very good youth players coming in. It just, where do we go from here? That's the only thing. Because naturally, you could stay second but get more points, but it means you need to win 2 trophies because 1 trophy isn't enough to call it progress. So for me, I would expect the FA Cup and the Champions League as more progress than just getting second and potentially win the Europa League. Or alternatively, we go on and win the league by 10 points, but we're not going to win the league by 10 points. It'll be like 4 or 5. It'll be a marginal gap because we don't have the strength of squad. We will add in the summer, but will we win the league comfortably? No, I certainly think we can. I think it's going to be between Man City and Man United again. I think they'll need to strengthen a little bit again in key positions, but I still expect Liverpool to be up there in the top 3. I don't think Chelsea are going to be close to the top 3, but they'll finish 4th. I think Chelsea will finish with 15 points behind 3rd.
Ooh,
just very quickly
interesting.
Just very quickly on that away record thing. Obviously, it will be very nice. You know, I think we're only one game behind Arsenal's overall record now.
No, we've matched it.
That'll be next season. Obviously, that will beat it anyway. But if you look at all of the other clubs that are within that list of, let's say it's 5 or 6, I think, within the top list of all those clubs that have had long away runs. The Manchester United are the odd one out because all the other 5 have all won a league title within that period. And that's what's the most annoying thing for me is that, that is a very good record, obviously, having that away record, but ultimately I would rather let us lose a game or 2 or anything like that. I'd rather us do that.
And another trophy. That's what I would have wanted.
Yeah, that's obviously an annoying thing because, a record like that is nice to have, but it means for me, in a way, just as a personal perspective, it means very little if there's not a trophy to go with it.
Yeah. Good evening to Rich Sports. You've not missed much. We're just talking about the top 4, and we're just on Manchester United as well. Thank you for tuning in, and I really do like your new logo as well. I think that's smart.
Thing of beauty.
Manchester United would have took second start of the season along with the trophy. I don't think many predicted United to be in the top 2 start of the season. Except
I certainly
Reece.
didn't myself.
I said
I
said we'd win the league.
Oh right.
Oh wow.
I said we wouldn't win the league, Pete. And the reason I said we wouldn't win the league is because we didn't have a midfielder in there that I felt we could advance with. The centre back position for me wasn't strong enough, and lastly, right wing, which I think we're going to show that in the summer. We will get those positions, but the fact that we still got second though with a squad like that, when frankly the better squad is Liverpool to a degree. Liverpool got to a degree a better squad. We've certainly done that. I didn't think Liverpool were going to drop off so quickly as they did, but next season I do expect Liverpool to be stronger to a degree. Will they finish 3rd? I bloody well hope they finish outside the top 4, but I think they'll finish 3rd.
Nice. I love the banter between Liverpool and United fans, for sure. But we do have to talk about the champions, Manchester City. I mean, Nathan, how badly missed is Sergio Aguero going to be? Because I tell you something, he is just an absolute goal machine when you get him on the pitch.
Oh, he was unbelievable yesterday. I mean, second half, thing of beauty. Everton, what on earth were they doing at the back? Completely dreadful. They have Ancelotti in charge. One of the best managers in Europe. And they come 10th.
Yeah.
Behind Marcelo Bielsa, who's just come up from the Championship. Mikel Arteta, it's like running a zoo there with the absolute chaos going on at Arsenal. And then a 29.
We will get to Arsenal. I have a lot of things to say about Arsenal.
Bring it on. And
I have a lot of things to say about Arsenal.
Who employ a 29-year-old. Don't get me wrong, Rory Mason could be good as manager in the future, but not certainly now. Come on, Ancelotti. Come on. But either way, back to Man City, as we were discussing. Aguero, he's just pure different gravy. Fernandinho giving him the assists. It's just a thing of beauty. Passing the torch along to now the longest serving player at Man City. Both phenomenal. It goes to show that Sergio Aguero can still score goals. And not only that as well, moving forward, when I believe he does end up going into Independiente, he's going to be unbelievable in Argentina.
Yeah, absolutely.
After he's done with Barcelona first at this rate.
This is lovely. Evening, lads. Just been out to the shops with me and with my mum for the first time in 14 months after my 2 COVID jabs. Small steps getting there. That's fantastic news, Jack. Really nice. Do like to hear the things. Josh, where does Sergio Aguero rank in your all-time Premier League strikers list?
I'm gonna go top 2. I think Thierry Henry is obviously up there. Thierry Henry is probably up there too. I'll be bold because
you're lucky. You're lucky. There's no airports near me.
No, you also have to keep in mind that I don't know every single good striker as much as everyone here does.
Van fucking Nistelrooy.
What about Alan Shearer as well?
He doesn't count.
Oh, come on.
As I'm saying, I don't know the statistics all in my head, so I'm going off probably more. I'm probably going more off recent years more than like the whole Premier League get together. So just be aware of that in my head. But
he did break Wayne Rooney's record of, I think it was 184
goals for a single club.
Yeah,
83 goals for a single club.
I just think he's always been consistent. He's done it in dodgy, not great City teams. He's been consistent under any manager he's played. He's fitted any system any manager's played. He's literally a proper number 9. I think you don't see very many strikers. You won't see very many strikers like Aguero anymore. I think Harry Kane's probably the only other striker, and he gets injured for about 3 months every season, which
he's nowhere near the level of Aguero.
Which will be a gamble if anyone takes the risk on Kane. But I won't answer how I think Aguero is an all-time Premier League striker, so I don't get punched by Reece. But
you think that's what I had in mind? Oh mate,
but
you underestimate me, sir.
But I would Aguero will be unreplaceable. I'd be interested in what will City do going into next season. Will they go for Harry Kane?
Make Pep cry. That's what happened.
Will they go?
Did you see that? He started greeting.
Will they go for Lukaku? Or will they go for no striker?
Pete Shepherd, I know, is in the chat. Let us know who do you sign to replace Aguero. Hope you're all doing good, lads. Josh, send it all my love, mate. Messages are always open to everyone. You'll never walk alone.
Thank you very much, Chuck.
Yeah. Timo Origi, no chance. So we're going to move from the top 4 and we're going to talk about the European places now. So Leicester City and West Ham United are in the Europa League. Congratulations to West Ham.
I want to start with West Ham. West Ham seriously in this summer need to buy players because they could end up being in a very similar situation what Burnley were in 2 years ago when they went through all the European qualifying and nearly got relegated. So if the West Ham board do not back David Moyes here, David Moyes will lose his job and West Ham will be in a serious contention of going down next year because this season proved that they couldn't continue to fight for the top 4 with the squad that they had because it just ran empty. They couldn't keep on going. If they go into next season with the same squad with only one out-and-out striker in Antonio, very limited options to fall back. Still trusting Mark Noble to play. West Ham will they maybe will do well in Europe, but they will be in a serious relegation scrap next season.
Yeah,
There's a chance.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. But fantastic job that David Moyes has done, Nathan. I don't think anyone expected West Ham to be in any of the European positions, but what a season he's had.
Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, if you look at the start of the season with some of the fixtures that he has, I thought he was going to be out of the door in November. I thought he'd be the first one to go as well. Any manager who gets through that is a miracle worker, especially with that squad, with the owners as well. Fair play to him. And if anyone actually remembers the last time that West Ham were in Europe, it was embarrassing. Who remembers when they couldn't even score against that Romanian team and their fans just completely hit the ceiling? But that once again shows that they had the lack of squad depth the last time. They're bringing it forward into next season. Golden Sullivan have to invest here. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough season for them. They're going to be in a relegation battle. They're probably going to get their managerial choices wrong again. They have to take ownership. They've got to lead this club. It's not David Moyes who has to lead it. He's done a brilliant job. It's now up to Golden Sullivan to do so.
I'll tell you two players who have really impressed me this year, George, for West Ham. Sufal, the right back, and Thomas Soucek.
Oh yeah.
How good have those two been? They are probably two of the signings of the summer at least.
Yeah, it's amazing. Obviously, you are right. They've been fantastic. I think West Ham. It's just as Nathan sort of said, they do need some backing and proper investment. It's a question of whether they're going to hold on to Jesse Lingard. That's got to be one of their objectives. I think Declan Rice probably won't be going anywhere because the price they've set on him is absolutely exorbitant. Even for maybe Chelsea will have that amount of money to pay for him, but I don't think he's going anywhere. I
think that 90 million is just paper talk, though. I think it's literally just because United are interested, we'll just charge it. But I get your point, but even so, 90 million for Declan Rice, come on, that's for a British player. I mean, that's bollocks. I wouldn't spend 90 million on a Pizza Hut.
I think overall, though, it's been sort of disappointing. I think for West Ham, obviously, it's good to get into Europe, but from my perspective, I really did the way that they were sort of going. It's just sort of tailed off in those last few games. I had them, finishing, getting to the Champions League, which I was hoping, that
so
Leicester.
I said
Leicester were going to do it as well. And obviously, that would mean that both Liverpool and Chelsea. Apologies, but I don't want either of you. I didn't want either of you in the Champions League, so I was hoping that West Ham and Leicester were going to do it, but. They just sort of tailed off at the end again because of that, lack of squad depth, which the big four, have because of the monetary outlay. But a fantastic season for West Ham overall, and David Moyes in particular, obviously is my manager of the season. So it's
mine
been
too.
Fantastic overall.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, David Moyes is definitely my manager of the year as well. Reece. Tottenham are in the Europa Conference League. Now, I don't know if anyone has seen the pictures on Twitter, but somebody plays beside an airport and someone plays beside a train going around the pitch. So, Tottenham, it's just the low of the low, isn't it, for Spurs?
It's so funny that I don't even know what to say. That's the best part. It's so funny. I wish Arsenal got in the Conference League though. That would have been absolutely perfect to see Arsenal in the Conference League because I think that's their natural level. But the fact that Spurs are in there as well, I mean, the squad that they've got, it's physically embarrassing. But the fact that if Harry Kane doesn't go, you're going to see Harry Kane play in the Conference League, and I will laugh if they go up against Aberdeen and get smashed. It would be so funny.
I might be able to walk half an hour down the road and see some European football as well. It's that crazy. See Harry Kane play part-time local postman down Jenner Park, which is just
it'd be so funny.
Crazy.
It makes you wonder exactly what the significance is because the fact that Tottenham, they had a very decent run in towards the end of the season. Ryan Mason may be inexperienced or not, but the players they've got are experienced enough to lead that team, frankly, where they could have got the Europa League if they actually bothered to. It just shows that those players could not be arsed. And frankly, there's a fair few there that have to go. That Spurs squad though, like it does have its deficiencies. It does have strengths there. What I will say is that I thought it was absolutely funny the minute that season ended, Gareth Bale was back on the plane back to Madrid. He was gone. I thought that was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I have to say one thing I will say though. Did you see that Tottenham's new home kit is actually made out of complete plastic?
It's
So
minging.
I'll let you decide. I'll let you decide that one. Butlers, I think you'd have to say. Right, Arsenal.
Where do we start?
How long have we got? Worst season
As long as we
in
want.
the club's history. They have not qualified for Europe for the first time in 25 years. Their squad is absolutely horrendous. Saka was probably the pick of the bunch in a very poor squad this season. And Aubameyang just played like prime Gervinho. Nathan, what went wrong for Arsenal this season?
Where on earth do we start? I mean, he's got the trim like it as well, Paul. Above a blood clot, young. I had to get that in there. How embarrassing that is, but they're gonna lose so many players in the summer. I got a feeling Aubameyang, he's not gonna stick around. I don't think he's gonna want European football. I mean, with the squad that they have, the amount of investment, 72 million on Nicolas Pepe, wouldn't even trust him to run my bath. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
No striking options at all this season. Defense is tightened up a little bit, but it's still like a calendar. Where do you go
If
from
only
here?
they got relegated.
I know there was an actual.
Greater.
Do you know something? There was an actual time. I think it was in December. They were
They
4
were 16th.
points off the relegation zone. That's how
They were
bad.
16th in the league.
That's how bad Arsenal would be. And I mean, Josh. Obviously, we've obviously talked about the struggles of Chelsea, but what Arsenal, just a completely new thing, wasn't it? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, just saying that. What do you call it? Arsenal have a really. I think the biggest issue of Arsenal is probably their midfield. You know, their midfield isn't particularly good. Partey has actually been quite disappointing since he joined from Atletico.
Partey's one of the most disappointing signings of this season, I think, personally.
El Nani, how is El Nani playing in the Premier League? Like, someone honestly tell me how this man. Ceballos was absolutely awful. Odegaard was decent since he came in. Smith Rowe has been excellent, but their midfield's really bad. Xhaka.
I'm sorry. Julian, remember that? Julian said Arteta is the next Alex Ferguson. Oh dear,
It's an insult to my club.
That's the worst AFTV comment since Ty blamed them losing on the rain.
I don't know, but did you see Troop's tweet about that Arsenal would finish above Manchester United this season? I don't know if they checked, but that tweet definitely aged well.
Yeah,
Arsenal's
definitely. Kane Don, thank you very much for the super chat. Take the null out of Arsenal, and you've just described them as a club. Arse. Yeah, absolutely.
I think we can all say it in the nicest way possible to the fans of Arsenal Football Club. We only have one thing to say to you. Get a blank bit of paper, like get the dotted line, give him as much as he wants. Ironclad contract for Arteta and Kroenke in.
The only thing, one thing I would say, though, might be a bit controversial. Is I actually think maybe being out of Europe here would probably do Arsenal the world of good. You know, put all our.
I agree, actually.
Put all our focus. Put all our focus.
Are you sure though?
I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans say online as well that maybe it is a time to take their minds completely off Europe. They keep getting distracted with it, and then they get a good victory on Thursday nights, and then they end up losing
just focus on the domestic.
6-0.
Just focus on the domestic competition.
Yeah, listen, I think it'll do them world of good. Put all, you've seen it 2 years ago. You know, when Chelsea finished mid-table, Conte came in and they won. Now they're going to win the league, but put all your focus into one thing: less traveling, more preparation time on the pitch. For an inexperienced manager like Arteta, for a squad that doesn't win too much, it's less pressure. You can focus on the FA Cup. They can focus on the Premier League. sometimes being in Europe, like being in Europa League time and time again, can sometimes have a knock-on effect mentally. So sometimes being out of it for a while does the world a good. And
Yeah.
listen, the European
But
Conference League.
what's the pressure that he's going to be under? Like different ways to improve his touching cones technique.
And the European Conference League. I don't know if you guys have seen this on Twitter, but there was things about they're showing all the different grounds that this European Conference League has. One where there's a train that she comes all the way through the bloody ground. There's an airport. Pastor Fred took a shot at that ground with the airport in the background. I think would have an air disaster. So, I think being in the European, I think. In a positive thing, at least we can laugh at Spurs for being in the European Conference League. And if they somehow don't win that trophy, oh dear.
Yeah.
We can also laugh at the fact that Pochettino bottled the Champions League with Spurs, he bottled the league with Spurs, and he bottled Ligue 1 with PSG.
I want to say something very quickly, just before while he's mentioned this. Okay, I want to see your guys' reaction to it. You know why the Lille won the French league yesterday?
Yeah.
Why is the Lille manager leaving for Nice? What is the logic in him leaving the club he just won the league within 9 years and then go to Nice?
Money.
Leo are going into the Champions League, right? Leo are going to go into the Champions League, but that squad is going to get dissected because their director of football is brilliant at selling players for high money. They're not even going to be in the top 4 next year. They're going to sell their best players.
I can tell you who's going to get sold this summer. Sven
Botman,
Botman,
Sanchez,
David, and
Ikone.
Yeah.
But
I think maybe the goalkeeper as well.
Samari's already gone.
He's been at Lille for years now. He's always succeeded with them, and just leaving him for Nice. If you're going to leave,
I think he's hit the ceiling though.
I just don't think if he was to leave, he should have left for another country.
It's not very Nice from the Nice club from getting their manager, but yeah.
I think it's a good decision though. I honestly think it's a good decision that he's leaving because even though he's going into even though he's won the league and he's won the Champions League, I think he's hit the glass ceiling in terms of where he can go because look what happened to Monaco. That squad like that, as soon as they romped the league title. That squad was dissected within a summer. So frankly, I think it's the right decision to move because he can build another team up again. Might take him a few years, but
I don't think
Jack's
Jack's liking my joke. Oh no.
No, we definitely don't like your joke, mate. That's why I didn't acknowledge it.
And Connor's the same. But the two teams who have had very good seasons. We'll come to Aston Villa first because wherever they were going to finish was always going to be success anyway after the season that they had. But Leeds United, Nathan, I know that you don't like Leeds United as a Cardiff fan, but you have to give them credit. A top 10 finish in their first season back. What a season they've had!
Absolutely amazing. It's the Bielsa way. He's had his year to gel. Second year blew the championship away. Unbelievable. I mean, we're still a banana skin to them, but he's built on the squad while he brought in the key players. He's kept them competitive the whole year. As I keep saying this all the time, Leeds always start flying. They always start seasons flying. Then they just drop off, and then they have a tendency to bottle it. But this year, yes, they did have that slow period, as they always do. But towards the end of the season, they kept it consistent. Bielsa kept them absolutely driving for the top 10 positions. They've done it. They have really good foundations to build on. And for people saying that their team was littered full of championship players likes of Ayling, Jack Harrison, Stuart Dallas, Patrick Bamford, how has he scored 15 goals or whatever it is? It's ridiculous.
17. It's all drugs.
He could barely score the championship. How is he doing it? It's just crazy.
George,
he's a miracle worker.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I know United, and everyone hates Leeds, but you have to give Bielsa credit here. He's had a great season, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's been amazing, really. Leeds have really done well. Obviously coming up and then finishing in the top 10. It is a really fantastic achievement. But again, what they have to look out for is that sort of second season syndrome, which is likely to sort of kick in, I think, next season. So that's going to be absolutely fascinating to see, because I often feel with sometimes this is historically throughout the entire, because obviously I'm unfortunately old enough to know quite a lot of the Premier League sort of history. So you do often find these teams that do come up and then do very well, but then that once teams have sort of figured you out, sort of and worked out your tactics and worked out the personnel, that's when it becomes more difficult. And I think they're going to have to watch out for that, Leeds, but. Credit to them for what has been a good season overall.
Yeah, it has as well. Reece, quick line on Aston Villa. What have you made of them this season?
Surprise to hell.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they stayed up the way they did. I mean, they still play a psychopath at centre back, but they've got a decent team. There's some things that they need to add to, a little bit of things they need to improve on. One thing they need to do is they need to replace the murderer with a centre back. Like, frankly, you cannot have Tyrone Mings as a centre back, because that guy is just as lethal as Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, I mean,
and they're both in the England squad, so I'm hoping they play against Scotland, because we'll definitely beat them.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I get with Aston Villa is I think the spine of their team is much better now. Like, you've got Martinez, Konza, okay, Mings, Louise, McGinn, Grealish.
Get Barkley back
Ollie
up for
Watkins.
permanently, I think would be smart for them. I think getting Barkley on permanently from Chelsea would be smart.
Ollie Watkins has been absolutely fantastic. But you have to say it's been a very good season for Aston Villa. Now, two teams that we did not expect to be in the bottom 10, Southampton and Wolves. Wolves has just been a very poor season for them. Nathan, what went wrong for Wolves this season?
Really not reinvesting in key areas and losing Doherty, Raul Jimenez, which was of course sad. Diogo Jota, who was really key on the wing. Adama Traore is just turning into a pace merchant. BTEC Dan James, except Dan James has talent. But Nuno, I think, has just lost it. He doesn't have a plan B. We've seen it before in the Championship. We've seen it before in the Prem. If it doesn't work out, he'll still stick with a plan. He won't adapt. And I think that's really cost him there. They haven't backed him as much this season. And even when he has been backed, it's been backed in the wrong areas. I think he's done well for his first 4 years at Wolves. Unbelievable job, in fact. But he's just run out. He's run out of steam. And personally, as a Wolves fan, or not as a Wolves fan personally, but if I was a Wolves fan, this would be the right time for him to go and get some fresh ideas, get someone fresh in.
You saw it yesterday, though, just how valued that he is by that club as well. You saw it yesterday. Yeah. I've said it all season. Like Wolves are a pain in the arse team, but Nuno's a manager I like, and I said it a few weeks ago that I think if he had something in that squad just a little bit different, I reckon they would have been better than where they are. But
just on that, I'm gonna ask you all this. Josh, where does Nuno go next season?
I think Spurs are linked, but it came out today. I was listening to Fabrizio Romano's podcast, and Ryan Mason he's been offered the contract full time to take Spurs over next season full time.
Wow.
Because apparently if Ryan Mason stays, Harry Kane, that's the only reason why Harry Kane will stay, simply because they're literally best buddies. So what happens, and also because they're in a rebuild. So I don't know where Nuno goes. I think if Nuno goes to Spurs, it's going to be a Jose Mourinho situation all over again. They're going to be defensive. They'll play with a back three. They'll be rigid and they'll be ugly. I just don't think Nuno suits Spurs, or suits where Spurs need to play, or suits the squad. I think he'll probably be sacked within at least the first 2 seasons. So if Ryan Mason doesn't get the job, Nuno will, I think, but it will not end.
I don't.
It'll be a disaster if he goes there.
Reece, if Santos manages to win the Euros for Portugal again, could you see him stepping down and letting someone else take over? Because I'm thinking Nuno to Portugal possibly.
That's a very good question. I don't think so. I think the talent that's coming out of Portugal right now, I think Santos, he's done exceptionally well in terms of winning the Nations League, and then he won the Euros against a very strong France squad. Albeit it was extra time, but it just showed like how strong he kept them going. The talent that's coming in though with Portugal, I think he would stay. I think he would go to the World Cup with them. I don't think Nuno's going to be in the Premier League. Funnily enough, I don't think he's. I don't think Ryan Mason's. I don't think Ryan Mason's.
Connor's asked a very good question.
I'm going
here.
Benfica. Nah, I disagree with that one. I don't think he'll go to Napoli. I think he's going to go to Benfica. I think Martinez is going to take the Spurs job after. I think Roberto Martinez is going to take the Spurs job after the Euros when he steps down.
What about Lucky? And this might be a bit of a weird question. Lucky Lau, is there any chance that he'll probably want to go into a full-time job at club? Could he, with Spurs, even try to speak to the German?
I've heard one of the Bundesliga clubs has been linked with Löw, but I don't know which one it is.
From what I've heard, it's apparently Frankfurt. They're looking at him for is some bizarre reason because they've got a good manager anyway. But,
when I was listening to, I don't know if any of you guys listen to ESPN, but there is a show called the Gab and Jules podcast, and these two are like the best guys on ESPN. They really know their stuff. Apparently, I'm gonna butcher this guy's name, but Edin Tuvic, the current Dortmund caretaker manager, he's also been linked to the Spurs job, and he's done a really good job. He's done really well with Dortmund the last few weeks. He's won the Porto with them, got them top 4. So, Spurs, the fact is, in a nutshell, Spurs have no clue.
Reece is away.
In the short, Spurs literally have no clue who they want, and maybe that's why they're just going for Ryan Mason.
Very interesting. Quick one on Southampton, Josh. Have you been a bit surprised of how bad, like, it's been a bit of a roller coaster season, as my good friend Daniel Hargreaves says, but you'd have to say that it's been a good first half, mediocre second half, and then the third half they've just completely fallen off.
You see, just to that point there, saying Gab McCarthy and Julian Rod's a good journalist. Yes, I can listen to Julian and Gab for hours beyond that. I love those two. Anyway,
they bore me to death. Definitely. Gab and McCarthy talking about Italian teams, man. Honestly,
yeah. Gab's very serious, but Jules is very good.
Jules is decent. But McCarthy, man, honestly, like.
But Southampton. Southampton. This is an interesting one. I think it was the fact that Southampton. The thing that made Southampton really, really good was that they played this high press, this 4-4-2. They were in your face. They played in a way you would never expect Southampton to do. And it was just the fact that everything was clicking. It was the uncertainty. But as the season's gone on, especially in the COVID schedule, they got hit by injuries quite badly. They got hit by injuries quite badly. They couldn't keep up the high press because the COVID schedule just killed teams. And I think the defense got worse too. The defense really, really weakened. He lost his best back 4, and he just never was able to recuperate them. The goalkeeping situation in Alex McCarthy was a disgrace. Like he's been a shocking season. So I think Hasenhüttl has done an incredible job. I think this is a case where if you back him, Southampton will do well next season. And when he isn't playing every week and he's able to get back to the high press, and all of that stuff, I think he will. I think he'll do very, very well next season. Southampton were my surprise package. I still think they were good. I still couldn't was my surprise package. Yeah, I got sacked as Chelsea manager and football manager today. So
Josh 5-1.
That's the thing. Is like I've been bigging up Hasenhüttl for a long time because I've got so much respect for the guy. I think he's a good manager. He just didn't get enough backing. He just needs a bit more for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we go into the teams that were relegated: Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield United. Now, Nathan, out of those 3, if anyone is to come straight back up, which one would it be?
There's a clear choice here. Fulham. Yeah, they've got the foundations that they just got to keep that squad together. If they do it, they retain their loans. They retain Areola as well, even though I can't see it. I think they could be in for another good season next year. And for the first time since the dawn of time, I think they could go up in automatics. Because if you look at the other areas, or if you look at the other teams in the Championship, for example, at the moment, Brentford...
Good evening, Ali. Good evening, Ali. Oh,
Watch him as Fat
geez.
Frank takes over his club and he decides that forget it, like Crystal Palace, I'm done. I'm going to take a year out as a fan.
Yes.
Lampard will do well with them.
But
No, he won't.
I do agree with BBL's comment just then. Fulham is all about the money, and you could literally put it down on that. But
Yeah, they've got. Is it someone Khan that they've got? As
Shahid Khan, yes,
Shahid
one
Khan,
of the
yeah.
richest owners in English football. But they need to find something that they can build on, and he's not making the right business decisions. But looking at the other teams in the Championship, we'll exclude the top four, obviously, because we don't know the situation. Well, we don't know the situation between Brentford and them lot down the road. Bournemouth, under Woodgate, I can't see it. Reading have massively fallen off and are going to drop off. And they're only real contenders. The other teams who've got relegated and Cardiff, anyone else who decides to rebuild. And personally, if you compare the two squads, unless something drastic happens over the summer, I think Fulham could be favourites.
Yeah, absolutely. Reece, would you agree Fulham are the best prepared, do you think?
To come straight back up out of the three, but in any circumstance? No.
Really?
I don't think so. And the reason I don't is because, like, you look at that team and I don't see any form of mentality in either of those players. I think Sheffield United got relegated purely because they brought in a key man at relegations. They brought in Ramsdale. Like, the man knows how to get relegated, so he was naturally the man for the job.
Reece,
but
you ready to hear this? So just before you talk about West Brom, this broke half an hour ago. They're bringing back Tony Pulis.
No.
West Brom are not coming back up. I can tell you. West Brom are not coming back up with Pulis in charge. I can say that now.
And also, see Bournemouth. I also seen this too because this is on Fabrizio Romano's podcast. Recommend to listen to it. Woodgate's going to be demoted to assistant manager of Bournemouth. Alan Padry might be taking over.
Oh God, that's even worse.
I think they'll keep Woodgate and they'll just completely crumble.
That's
even basically worse. What you're saying is so basically what you've said is I'm going to get an option of seeing West Brom get an asteroid dropped on them. Yes. And instead of Bournemouth wanting to stay in the Premier League, you're bringing in a manager that got a 6-year contract at Newcastle that didn't fulfill it. And he's most famous not for managing, but for doing a stupid jig in an FA Cup final that he lost.
Oh my God! Honestly,
well done, Bournemouth. Well done, Bournemouth.
Atrocious West Brom manager as well.
Jeez. Okay, George. Who's the most prepared to come back up straight away?
It's a difficult one. I don't think necessarily any.
I'm not winding you up. I'm not winding them up on being generally serious.
Oh my God!
No, I don't actually. I don't think any of them are that well prepared at all. Really. Obviously, you've just spoken about the managerial options that they're going to have, and yeah, it's going to be extremely interesting. Obviously, the Championship next season. So as I said, I don't feel like any of those three clubs are making the best preparations to obviously come up again. In terms, obviously, as obviously they've spoken about, as I think Chris Welch has spoken about in the comments, Norwich are the team that do go up and down like a yo-yo all the time, and they're obviously
and Watford, Watford as well, like two of them.
Well, yeah, it's but I don't necessarily see that same sort of pedigree from any of the teams that have dropped down. You would say maybe Fulham, because obviously again they have gone up and down obviously quite a few times, but I don't hold much. I wouldn't like to predict any of them really, because
Fulham know how to get up. They don't know how to stay up. Like that whole mentality of like the good Fulham team, the good Fulham team in the mid 2000s is gone. Like they're not going to have anything like that anymore. And furthermore, it's like I think you look at how Norwich are going to come up. Like Norwich are going to make the exact same mistakes. They're not going to invest, and eventually they're going to play exciting football all year. They'll probably lose to Liverpool in the first game of the season again. They probably will. They'll probably get for Liverpool and lose again. But they'll play the same way, and they'll do a Huddersfield. They'll just keep playing good football, but they won't adapt to the Premier League to survive. And I think that's why I think Leeds are going to finish further down the league next year. I don't see Leeds finishing in the top 10. I think they're going to finish in 15th.
Cian Dolan, just to answer your question, yes, I think he will stay at the club if Brentford's go
Yeah,
up.
he's untouchable if they go up.
Brentford
there is
when
no way
Brentford when
they'll
he
sell him.
stays. Brentford when he stays. Brentford loses. He goes to Fulham. Not Fulham. He goes
I
to
disagree.
Aston Villa. He goes to Villa's back up to Watkins.
What about Brighton?
He won't
No.
go to Brighton. No chance.
I don't.
They won't be able
I
to
don't
afford
think
him.
he'll. I mean, it
Well, I
makes
do- go on.
sense. It makes sense in terms of like what he did in the championship in terms of his goals and his assists. He broke the records. His shots per game stats as 10 XG fan. It's a complete wet dream. So it makes sense. But I don't see him going to Brighton. I don't think they've got the money to
They
cough
don't.
up 40 million just to go. We'll get him.
It's just the reason I said that was because of Mopey going to Brighton from Brentford.
Yeah.
So that was definitely going to do.
Yeah, he was a goal machine, to be fair. Go on.
Shane O'Donnell has said we're going to have the Dundee derby next season, 4-1 in aggregate and 2 on the night. 2-0 to Dundee.
Yeah.
That'll be a good result.
Get it up, yeah, come on.
I do have a
Wow.
question for you guys. Sorry to interrupt anyway, but
Yep.
after what we just discussed then with in relation to who's going up, who is your guys' top two for the championship next season? Early prediction.
Next season. Next
hell.
season, I'm going.
Next season.
I'll go crazy for you. I'm going to go top two Barnsley to win the championship, and then after that, I am going to. I really want to put myself into a butcher situation. Well, fuck it. Sorry, Nathan. Top two Barnsley to win the championship. Swansea to finish second. Sorry, mate.
Not happening.
Um,
I respect it though.
My top four. I'll go top four for a specific reason. I'm going to go. I'm going to go under. I'm going to go underdogs. I'm going to go with a surprise package of Fulham to win.
If you say Blackburn, you will be killed.
Fulham
There's
to
no way
win it.
Blackburn will win.
I'll go Fulham to win it. I will go West Brom to finish second because I think they'll keep their core squad and probably it'll be like a Norwich. It'll be like a Norwich situation. They'll come back up again.
I've already said that Norwich and Watford are going straight back down. So we'll be Watford and West Brom.
Third will be Cardiff. I have a good feeling about Cardiff this year in the summer window. I think Cardiff will do really well. I think Cardiff will have a really good summer.
Are you just trying to make Nathan smile?
No, because McCarthy, if he's backed in the window, the championship will sit him down to the T. I think
he has already been back. To be fair, we've already signed James Collins, who scored. I think it was over 10 goals this year.
I think it's a season too early for Cardiff. I think Cardiff still need a bit more solid investment. I think Cardiff they should aim for the playoffs and then just fail.
Right, in fourth place, I think Stoke will. I think Stoke under Michael O'Neill will have a really, really good. I am being biased to Stoke City because of Michael O'Neill, but I have a good
I'd like to
feeling
see them come back up, so I get your point. But see, my problem with Stoke is I think Stoke's time of getting back to the Premier League is over. I think that squad they've got, I don't see anything strong in there. It's good that they've got Michael O'Neill, he's a good manager, but they don't have the investment to take it further. But then again, there's some teams in that league that should be doing better. One particular that should do better is Huddersfield, but we already know that's not going to happen.
Oh,
but
jeez, yeah, Huddersfield.
I would like to see them. But I would like to see them back in the top flight with an actual good attacking manager, but it's not going to happen.
And Sheffield United will finish mid-table because Paul Heckingbottom will be sacked by Christmas. Their season will be over, and that's the end of that.
I agree.
I don't think it's going to be Heckingbottom.
No,
I've heard
because
it's Slavisa Jokanovic apparently.
No,
he doesn't suit him at all.
Heckingbottom, what do you call it? Heckingbottom had an interview today, and he says that he's been offered the full-time job by Sheffield United. He's deciding if he's going to stay, if he'll take it, or if he wants to stay with the academy, because he thinks he actually said in the personal interview after he got sacked by Hibernian, he actually said that he feels he's not a good enough manager anymore, and he won't stop any club. He doesn't want to hold any clubs down, so he's okay with being an academy.
Never a good manager to begin with.
I have a feeling QPR might be in for a big season next season. I've been very impressed with them, and I think Lyndon Dykes and Charlie Austin up front are very, very good. You've got Elias Chair as well. So I'm going to say QPR to maybe not win it, but maybe be playoffs.
That's a good shout.
Where do you think Nottingham Forest will go next season? And the accurate position is relegation, but where do you see Nottingham Forest next year?
Mid-table.
top
That's
10,
a tricky
I think.
one. I don't think they'll make top 10 because they've been fairly patchy recently as well. Their squad, they have a
I think
huge
Birmingham
wage
City
budget.
might
That's
go
going to
down
go.
next season. I think Birmingham City
They're
might go down
struggling.
next season.
I want
I
Blackburn
agree.
to get a kick up the arse and actually challenge, because I'm sick
What-
of seeing a decent striker like Adam Armstrong be stuck in the Championship. He's too good for that league.
What about Wayne Rooney's
is.
derby? As far as we haven't mentioned them.
Wayne
They're gonna
Rooney's
get
derby,
relegated.
if they get solid investment and they physically back him and he gets a good pre-season, I reckon they could be 12th, 13th in the Championship. I know that sounds for Derby, that sounds a bit of a... Well, for Derby's sake, they should be higher than that. But you look at Wayne Rooney, it'll be his
Hi,
first full
Roberto.
season as a manager. I don't think there should be a big expectation on him, but he will have to prove himself. I think if he gets 10th to 13th in the Championship in his first full season, I think that's good for Rooney to build on.
Question for Nathan. Do you think Kiefer Moore's been linked with a move to the Prem, potentially as you have brought in James Collins and are linked with Waghorn?
The Waghorn linking is just complete and utter nonsense. And Keith Moore's already expressed his interest to stay at the club. I mean, I don't know what Premier League club is going to offer £15 million, which is our asking price for Keith Moore. I can't see it personally, but the one thing I would like to say about Derby and Wayne Rooney is like that club is not going to be backed in the summer. They've literally got a tenner in the bank. They're going to get a points deduction by the looks of things. And they are in for a real disaster next year. They're going to have to lose players either way.
What about the transfer by Peacock Farrell going to Cardiff to replace Alex Murphy?
I think he's a good backup. I prefer Phillips over Smithies, and I've said that many times before. I think he'd be good for backup. But
wait, has that been confirmed?
Peacock Farrell, no. That's a rumor.
Peacock Farrell.
Yeah, and keep in mind, he got
away from him.
He got
Stay well away from him.
He got dropped.
I don't think he's good enough.
No. Bailey Peacock Farrell is one of the worst goalkeepers I've seen this season.
He got dropped for Will North.
That's
who gets dropped
shit.
for Will Norris? Who gets dropped for Will Norris? Honestly, you're that rubbish.
I mean, if Cardiff are looking for a goalkeeper, I know a goalkeeper. He's got the best agent in world football. His name's Lee Grant. He's 25 years old. Like, massive age.
Yeah,
Lee Grant's available.
I'll do you one better. Willie Caballero. There you go.
That's disrespect on Caballero's name to link up with Cardiff. That's disrespect.
Players like Robbie Fowler,
the man's won the
Jimmy
league title.
Floyd Hasselbank, Craig Bellamy. We're famous for older players coming to end their careers at our club. Not players like Lee Grant. No chance, but I would like to say go on. Before I go to Georgia, go on. Sorry, Doug.
I know shit for Cardiff, by the way.
I know we've kind of gone a bit pear shaped, but just very very quickly before we move on to the Euros preview, Newcastle United. How impressed were you with their end to the season, George?
Very much so. Obviously, it was quite phenomenal. The way that they sort of dug themselves out of what was quite a considerable hole. Absolutely fantastic. Getting all those results, because again, it did look quite close between themselves and Fulham. But ultimately, obviously, the goals came back, and obviously, it's absolutely phenomenal. The way that they survived, and I'm sure every Newcastle fan's very grateful for it, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh, can you see Joe Willock being at Newcastle next season?
It's hard. Newcastle are going to have to seriously empty the pocket. They're going to have to overpay quite a bit to get Joe Willock. So
I'm laughing at Nippon and Kian's comment. This is so funny.
With respect on the Argentinian Johnny Skins. I think it's difficult. The asking price from what I've seen for Joe Willock for Arsenal is 45 to 50 million. Can Newcastle spend all that money on one player? I don't know.
Ice cream boy.
Can't see it. I think he'll stay. I think he'll stay at Arsenal. I think he'll stay at Arsenal with Odegaard and Ceballos leaving.
Reece, who do you think is going to be sold at Newcastle this season?
The one player that I think they that will be sold that they really can't afford to sell is the player that I said was their player of the season. That's Saint-Maximin.
Saint-Maximin, yeah.
I think he will be moved on because, frankly, Newcastle don't deserve a player of his quality. Even if he's had injury spells, they don't deserve a player like him.
Speaking of Saint-Maximin, did anyone see my Twitter argument the other day about Saint-Maximin would improve Arsenal's team? And then Arsenal fan was like, Saint-Maximin is overrated. He's and he's a flop.
See the people that have called Saint-Maximin a flop, they were probably enjoying watching Wilfried Zaha, the overrated player that that had more fun playing with David Moyes' daughter than playing actual football.
Yeah.
If people generally think Saint-Maximin's a flop, then give your head a wobble because he's playing at a club where frankly there is no real expectation. Newcastle have not been a relevant big club since 2005. The mid-2000s when they last actually done something significant in the league. I think they finished 4th or 5th. But it says all how far they've fallen, and to label him a flop, have you ever watched Saint-Maximin play? Whether it's on the left wing or playing through the middle, he's got goals in him. He can get you an assist. He's quick, he's strong, he's powerful. And frankly, the way he's came back since injury, the way he's been playing is crucial to why they've stayed up. People are saying it's Callum Wilson. No, it's Saint-Maximin for me.
Yeah. You were talking about 04-05. You do know who replaced Sir Bobby Robson that year?
Yeah.
One certain Graham
wasn't it?
Souness. Yeah.
Yeah. That was embarrassing. We all remember his managerial career. The good
Nathan,
half of the...
Nathan, could you see Arsenal and Newcastle doing a swap deal between Willock and Saint-Maximin? Because Screen Boys actually said it there. Willock for Maximin, yes.
I think it'd be a good option for both parties, but Saint-Maximin is such a key part of that Newcastle team. I think it would be a complete disaster if they do it. They have to keep both players if they can.
I said on last week's show that when we done our when we went over our Premier League predictions and our player of the season, I said if Alan Saint-Maximin is sold by Newcastle, and I'll say it again, you can clip me on this, anybody. If Saint-Maximin is sold in the summer, Newcastle will be relegated.
Yes.
God, a bit dire.
It was Dyer and Boyer, fighting each other. That was absolute scenes.
I think everyone can agree that this season was like no other. Empty stadiums. I hope we don't see that one again. Soulless stadiums. VAR controversy left, right, and centre. Referees just been ridiculously bad. But yeah, the Premier League season 2020-21 season is now over, and now we move on to something a little bit more fun. And I'm going to hand you over to my co-host Josh. We're going to do Euro predictions.
And I'm just showing this beautiful badge for greatness.
Euro predictions, yeah. So this is going to be a very, very, very interesting thing. I think there's going to be a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of debate. I need to quickly switch over to a different web browser because I can't screen share on this one. So I will literally be back in like 2 seconds. Doug, keep it on your email because I'll need you to text me that code because I have to log in on my.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, you need the code for it. Yeah. Sure. Do you want to do? I've noticed that the Champions League app. They do fantasy football for the Champions League. They do have a fantasy football section. So if you lads want to do a fantasy league and we can promote it across the Euros.
That sounds good to me. Yeah.
We could do it, and we could have a separate group. And if anybody in the live chat wants to join us, we'll try and set up a group. If you want to join us, get your fantasy league for it's on the Champions League official fantasy league app, and there's a section for the Euros, so you can do your fantasy team there. If we'll set a league up, if anyone's interested in it, just drop in the live chat if you want us to do it or not. Otherwise, we'll just do it, and then we'll see who's the absolute funniest out of them all for predictions. If you want to do it, just let us know in the comments.
Actually, one thing I will discuss. I don't know if you've seen this, Reece, but Mickey Mellon is leaving Dundee United and John Hughes is leaving Ross County. What do you make of those departures?
Yeah, I've heard about that. The one there that I was shocked about most was Mickey Mellon. I thought he's actually done a very decent job for Dundee United. John Hughes leaving Ross County. You know what, to a degree that makes sense because John Hughes, he hasn't done particularly well in recent years. He's managed to keep Ross County to a degree, but the way they've went this year, barely surviving. They're lucky that Kilmarnock inevitably bottled the last 4 games. I mean, Ross County got beat a couple of games ago, and all Kilmarnock did was draw 3-3. Like, that says it all, really, just how far they've fallen. I don't know where they're going to end up. I think John Hughes might go into the Championship. I feel like, not the English Championship, the Scottish Championship. I think he'll take over a club and just bring them back up. I could see him taking over it, depending on if they make a change, maybe a Rafe Rovers, which I think would be a good decision. Mickey Mellon, I don't know where he's going to end up because I don't see many positions for him, but he's a decent manager. He could get something, but we'll find out. But other than that, I'm surprised by one of them, not surprised by the other.
Yeah, absolutely. Nathan, sorry, I'm just giving Josh the code to drop back in. Actually, we have some breaking news. Fabrizio Romano's just tweeted: Wolves are working to complete the appointment of Bruno Laga as new manager. Talks opened last week, and agreement now getting closer. Last details, then here we go. Expected soon.
That's a good signing from personally. I believe he's the Benfica manager, isn't he? Yeah.
Yep, and that's where I think Nuno's going to go.
Nice little swap deal. Nuno Mendes doing it all again, super agent. But
absolutely,
it'll be interesting, that one. I think we might take some. Here we go.
Right. So here we go. We have Group A. So who's coming first, second, third, and fourth? Right. And I will clip this as our predictions for the Euros on another video as well. So
this is I think it's a difficult group for us, and not because of what we've gone through, how we don't even have a manager, but Rob Page has been absolutely fantastic in his recent games as Wales interim manager, doing what he can with the squad, even with a lack of depth, even with key players missing as well. I still can't believe he's left out Will Volks again. That's ridiculous. But personally, for me, I know exactly where they're finishing.
Has your squad been named?
The group is going to be.
Has your squad been named?
Sunday. We've had our our provisional training camp list in Portugal come through. Interesting fact there: no Swansea players have been named. Brilliant. But obviously Connor Roberts will, because he's in the playoff final. But no Will Volks, infuriating.
I'm actually going to agree with Nathan here. This is a very tricky group for Wales. I think Turkey are the dark horses in this group. I think with the 35-year-old Burak Yilmaz, I think he's going to be extremely dangerous.
11 games unbeaten about France both times in the Nations League, come on away.
Yeah. So I'm tempted to put Turkey first. I think there might be a wee bit of a surprise. I think Turkey will finish first in that group.
I'm going Italy. I'm going Italy, Turkey, Wales, and Switzerland.
I'm going Italy, Wales. And then it's between the last two, isn't it? I think Switzerland could have a good Euros as well. But Turkey, Switzerland.
I'm going Italy, Turkey, Wales, Switzerland. George?
I'm going Italy, Wales, Turkey, Switzerland.
Right, Reece, you decide who gets second now between Turkey and Wales.
Come on, Reece.
I've got to decide and vote. I'm going exactly how the group's going to go. I'm going Italy, Switzerland, Turkey, Wales.
Oh, come on. Is that because of Dan James?
No, I actually think, the reason I think about it, right, is Italy have got by far the best squad, and they've got Mancini as a contract extension, so that's inevitable. Immobile up front, Donnarumma in goal, frankly, there's no end to that. I think Switzerland, they've got some decent players in there, like they can catch you off guard, especially because they've got a very solid goalkeeper that Doug knows full well.
Yeah.
So I think Jan Sommer in goal is key for Switzerland. So I think that's going to be, that's a tough one. That's why I think it's not going to be hard to get past them. I think Turkey, they're a surprise package. They could still get through as third best club. It's just Wales. I've got nothing against the Welsh. It's just that without potentially, like, all you've got is where you go is without Gareth Bale. What could possibly go wrong? If you lose Gareth Bale, I don't see you having any other attacking impetus. I think you
Kiefer
would
Moore,
fade.
David Brooks, Dan James, Harry Wilson, Aaron Ramsey.
There's some good players there, but are they enough? That's the thing.
Yes.
And I think
It's
Gareth Bale's
improving.
he's that extra bit of quality. I think you may like a little bit of lack there. That's my only worry. I think Wales could get through. It just depends on third place. I think they could as one of the third best clubs, but I don't think they will. So that's why I'm going Italy, Switzerland, Turkey, Wales.
I think overall it's Turkey, isn't it? I think if we obviously
because Reece put Turkey above Wales, so then Wales will then go in the third, and then the Swiss will go fourth. So Group B: Russia, Belgium, Denmark, and Finland.
Well, Belgium are one of the most overrated sides yet. I know that Roberto Martinez is one of the most overrated managers. Belgium keep on doing well in qualifying, but when it comes to the major competitions, they don't do
Sounds
very
like another
well.
nation we know, doesn't it, Doug?
I think it sums up Belgium in a nutshell, though, Doug. Like, they were 2-0 down to Japan, and he brings on bloody Fellaini to establish the win.
Yeah, I know. I actually, funnily enough, the last Euros, I actually watched every single game with my granddad. So that was lovely as well. That was been the World Cup actually.
I'm actually looking forward to this group. Like, it's one of the underrated groups I'm looking forward to. It's one of the four.
I'm going for a surprise here. I'm going Denmark first, Belgium second, Russia third, Finland fourth.
Yes.
You can clip me. I'm going the exact same prediction. Denmark, Belgium, Russia, Finland.
Denmark above Belgium.
Same here. Yeah.
Yep.
George?
Belgium didn't impress me when we played them a few months back at all.
It's all academic now because obviously
something about the Danish team.
Thing, so. But I would say
about
I would
that Danish
have Belgium,
team.
Denmark that way round, but it's all academic in a way.
Fuck, I've accidentally I've accidentally put them on. I can't get rid of them, so I'm just going to refresh and do it again.
That's all right. But me and Reece are agreeing on the same wavelength there, which is nice to see.
There's just something about that Danish team. There's just something about that Danish team that there's a little bit of unpredictability to them.
So we said, what did we say? We said Italy, Turkey, Wales, Switzerland. Yeah.
Switzerland. Yeah.
Okay, so Denmark's first, Belgium second. Who's third?
Russia, Finland. Finland.
Okay, so Group C: Austria, North Macedonia, Ukraine, and the Dutch.
Well, I've got no choice but to put the Dutch through because also I've got them in Russell's sweepstake. But I hate the fact that he's in charge.
I did not know this. Apparently, Max Mosley's died.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, about that earlier.
Rest in peace, Max Mosley, ex-F1 Supremo
and
director as well.
I'll kick off this group now. I know he was amazing. I'm going to kick off this group now. Obviously, I want Holland to go through because of the sweepstake, but I'm naturally not going to predict them to go through. I'm going Ukraine to win the group. I'm going Ukraine to win the group, Austria to finish second, Holland to finish third, Macedonia to finish fourth.
I think Netherlands will win that group comfortably. I'm going Netherlands. I know, but I'm going Netherlands, Ukraine, Austria, North Macedonia.
North Macedonia is last. Okay, I think we can all agree on that. They're on bottom.
Obviously, like they're only there by default. Like they're like Denmark in '92. They're just lucky that something happened.
I've got the same order as you, Doug. So that's my.
I think the Dutch have got a good team. It's without Van Dijk at centre back. Without Van Dijk at centre back, I think. The partnership they're going to have is a little bit shaky. De Ligt's good, so's De Vrij, but as a partnership at international level, they've not been comfortable. They're better as a back three.
Who's second? Yeah. Austria?
I was going to go
Ukraine,
Netherlands, Austria, North Macedonia.
Austria like that Ukrainian team under Shevchenko has been absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
Right, here we go. Group D, Scotland, England, Croatia, and the Czech Republic.
Here we
Right,
go.
this is where it matters. Scotland top, England second, England last, Czech Republic second, Croatia third. Nah, just kidding. In all serious, I see this group going, and I'm genuinely 100% serious here. I'm going England top.
I think England will win the group. I think we're probably all going to say that. I think England will win the group.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Oh, gee.
Oh,
Oh,
Croatia?
I think
yes,
Croatia will
Nathan.
have. Actually, no, Czech Republic.
What?
Oh no, I think Croatia. Oh, this is so hard. This one.
Croatia, Scotland, England, Czech Republic. That would do nicely.
oh.
Oh, this is hard.
That would be brutal.
No,
Nah,
I'm
I think, in
gonna-
all fairness, I think Scotland are finishing third in the group. It pains me to say it, but yeah.
So I've got the same as Reece. I think it's going to be England, Croatia, Scotland, Czech Republic. I think it's going to be that order.
I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going
I-
England. I'm going England, Czech Republic, Croatia, and Scotland.
I think Czech Republic is going to surprise everyone. They have been superb.
Yeah, Czech.
Looking at the way they play,
They failed to beat Scotland twice.
they did
just-
fail to beat Scotland twice. This is one of the hardest groups, minus Group F.
Scotland have got both games against the Czech Republic and Croatia at Hampden Park.
Exactly.
So
We are so much better at home.
Scotland are unbeaten in 13 competitive matches as well. Just to let you know.
I think we're gonna take 3 points against Croatia, and I think we're gonna draw to Czech Republic. Sorry, the other way around. I think we'll beat Czech Republic, draw to Croatia, and I think we'll draw to England. I think we'll get
Hello,
5 points, to be
Sophie.
honest.
My decision.
Hello, Sophie. Hope you're doing well.
I think we're going
it
to draw
pains
at
me to say
Wembley.
this. It pains me to say this, but England, Czech Republic, Scotland, Croatia finished bottom.
Croatia finished bottom.
Yes, they've been.
They
disappointing
are
me
an
and they have
aging side. They
squad.
are an aging side, aren't they? They are an
Yeah.
aging side. I think head over heart here. I think England are going to
Yeah.
top the group. I think if we beat Czech Republic and Croatia, then I think we finish second, and then I think it depends on who wins out of Croatia and Czech Republic finish the third. So I'm going to England, Scotland, Croatia, Czech Republic.
Yeah, I would like it to be that because I want Scotland to go through. But the best part is what Chris Welsh said. If England win this group, they'll play who I think is going to win. I think if England win the group, they'll play Germany, and that tells you where I'm predicting Group F. And then
What's
Germany
that?
will beat England on penalties.
We're going for England for the group now.
Yep,
Yeah,
Sadly.
unfortunately,
makes
Right,
me
so
sick, but yeah.
Who's second?
Czech Republic.
Scotland.
So, sorry, Nathan, you're outvoted by quite a mile. Third.
Croatia.
Czech
Czech Republic.
I think Czech
Oh,
Republic
okay.
might nick it. I don't know why. I just think they could. I think they could nick it against Croatia. That aging squad, but there's so much quality in that Croatia squad as well. So it's going to be 50-50.
Group E, Poland, the Spanish, Sweden.
Just to let you
and
know,
Slovakia.
Bluebird legends, Scotland have beaten Croatia and Czech Republic recently as well,
I know it's
both at
beautiful.
home.
It's beautiful. Group
So-
E, your guys are going to slaughter me for my prediction. That's. I think you should probably let me go first so you can slaughter me.
I'm going Poland, Sweden, Spain, and Slovakia.
Oh, thank fuck! You mentioned the same one as me. We're fine.
I'd
I
say,
agree.
I do
yeah,
have.
I
I agree.
This
That Spanish squad is disgusting, and if they get through, I'll be annoyed.
Sweden Sweden are literally the most anti-football international team in this. They play a 4-4-2. They park the bus. They sit deep, but they are bloody good at it. They are, and it's a real shame Zlatan's not going to the Euros. It's a real.
That's the
bloody
only
shame.
They'd
downside.
be a really good team otherwise.
But at least
They-
he's back in the Champions League next year because he signed a
They-
contract extension with AC Milan.
Oh.
So best of both worlds.
Josh, hang on. Say yours again.
Poland, Sweden, Spain, and Slovakia.
No. No
Swap
chance.
Sweden and Spain.
No chance. Not a chance Sweden get out of that group. Not a chance.
I think they
So I'm
will.
going
I doubt it.
Poland, Spain, Sweden, Slovakia.
Same.
I've got the same order as Doug, yeah.
All right, so Poland, Roman Lewandowski going to score a ton of goals for saying.
No. Yes, I don't think Lewandowski's going to even get a single goal at the Euros.
And then the last group: Portugal, France, Germany, and poor Hungary. I'm going to do this.
I know this one.
Hungary's out the bottom, I'm assuming, unless anyone's really feeling a bit.
I'm going France, Portugal, Germany, Hungary.
Ooh.
I'm going to say.
I'm going to be physically sick here in that.
I'm
going
go on,
Germany, Portugal, France, Hungary. I'm going French to finish third.
Yeah, I think Joachim Löw's going to pull out the bag for his last Euros and his last tournament for Germany. I think it's going to be France, Germany, Portugal.
Kia, mate, if you really think Hungary's going to finish above France,
I'm on the same wavelength as Nathan. Obviously, Nathan knows I'm a big Germany fan, but the circumstances, this is his last tournament, and the fact that he's left out Marco Reus, which for me is bold, and he's left out Julian Weigl in midfield, but he's brought in Muller. Well. He's brought in Muller and Hummels, so he's went bold, and that's why I think Germany got to win the Euros.
Reece, it was Marco Reus's decision not to go. He told Lockie.
He still could have convinced him though. Even if he had said no, he still could have convinced him. He still could have done more.
I think Reus did it for a specific reason. Yeah, Jack. I like you. Why? Hungary above Germany's not happening.
Soft Jack. I've just lost all respect for you.
Hungary are finishing bottom. I've
just lost it all.
I'm still angry.
I honestly think. Push comes to shove, I think either Germany will either finish first or second, but Germany will win the Euros.
I'm gonna say this now, Reece. I think Germany will go through as one of the best third place positions. So I think it's going to be France.
I don't think so.
France, Portugal, Germany, Hungary.
You've got the casting vote, Josh, because obviously there's two in each corner.
I'm going to go with. I think Portugal will finish top. I honestly have this. I've watched Portugal in all their recent international games. Their squad depth and everyone and all their players, like this is a team that is scary. I'm going to do Reece a favour. I think Germany will finish second. I have that German squad looks really, really good, and the reason why I've got France bottom is I just think France have the quality, but they're extremely predictable.
But Jack, you forgot something crucial. France in the Nations League and even in their recent games haven't actually played particularly well. They're very defensive, and they're very defensive. They're very rigid. A lot of teams have figured them out.
The tournaments, though.
So if the Chomps doesn't have a plan, I think France will be figured out. I think the motivation for Lucky Lau at Germany is going to be incredible, and I really like the Portugal team. So that's my order.
Josh, N'Golo Kante is crying just at the way that you've played France.
The circumstance as well is why I think Germany are going to win it. The reason I think Germany are going to win it as well is not just about Joachim Low. As obviously Jack's mentioned the whole South Korea thing, but if you look at that as the reigning defending champions. After they win it, have always since 98, 2002, have always been terrible in the group stage, and they don't get through. Brazil were the random circumstance; they managed to get to the quarterfinals and still got beat off France. But Germany, people write Germany off straight away. It doesn't matter what their squad is; they write them off straight away, and people forget how Germany, when it turns into a major tournament, they turn up, even if it's when it matters. The World Cup, the last one was a blip.
I haven't written off Germany. It's just the fact that you've got France and Portugal in there, and I just think the Portugal and France will probably finish first and second. I didn't think Germany were going to not make it. I just think that one of those teams.
That's the most intriguing thing.
One of those teams will definitely finish third and go through that group.
Well, so who are we going for? So out of Wales, the Russia, Austria, Czech Republic, Sweden, and France, who are the four best teams that will be going through to the knockouts?
I know what two definitely.
Russia, Czech Republic, France, Wales.
Yeah, that's fine.
I would agree with that.
France are in. So who's the other three?
France, Czech Republic,
Russia,
Wales, Russia.
Right, Czech Republic, Russia, and who?
Wales.
Okay. So now we go into the knock. We're going to the knockout stages. Okay, so
that's good, yeah.
So Denmark and Czech
Right.
Republic.
Denmark.
Denmark.
Oh, actually,
Denmark
no.
comfortably.
I'd say Czech Republic.
This game
Alright,
since
do
the
we-
Phil.
I'm
Do we get
going
to
to
pick scorelines,
say
or is it just who we choose goes through?
just
Just
we choose who
pick.
goes through. I think I'm going to go Denmark just in that one.
I think it'll go to
That's why
extra
I
time,
agree.
guys.
I'm still going Denmark to win, but I think Denmark versus Italy in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going Denmark. So Italy and Ukraine at Wembley.
Italy.
Italy for me.
Italy.
Watch the Italians like classic football. They'll turn up and smash them.
Portugal and Russia
Portugal.
in Budapest.
Portugal.
Scotland and Spain.
Scotland.
Scotland.
Scotland just for the absolute banter. Scotland win on penalties because we're undefeated in penalty shootouts.
Scotland and
Nah,
Spain.
if it was
Copenhagen.
Scotland versus Spain, it would be Spain. Obviously, that'd be
No
would
one going
be
to doubt about that though.
Spain.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Spain.
Spain are going to win that one, I'm afraid.
Poland and Wales at Glasgow.
Wales.
I'm actually going to go for. I'm going to go with Wales on that one.
Wales. I mean, Wales on their day are absolutely fantastic. I'm gonna go Wales.
Yeah, I'll go Wales as well. Why not? They did brilliantly the last Euros, so why not? Yeah.
Wales.
Mhm.
England and the Germans at
Germany.
Germany on
Germany.
penalties. Germany on
Germany.
penalties. Not
Germany.
easy.
Just right, Frank, I want to ask everyone this quickly. If England get knocked out here in the round of 16, does Gareth Southgate get sacked?
No.
Yes.
No, he gets kept. He gets kept to the World Cup 22.
Okay.
Mm.
The Holland
France.
and France at Budapest.
I have to back the Dutch here because I want to win sweepstakes. So I'm going Dutch.
I'm
France.
going France.
France. Turkey and Belgium.
Oh,
Turkey.
At Amsterdam.
Turkey.
I'm going to go
Some
Turkey.
lovely Yilmaz
Turkey.
goals. Some lovely Yilmaz goals.
I'm going
Turkey.
Turkey. I think there might be a surprise there. I think Turkey might win that.
You think Turkey's going to be Belgium?
Yeah.
Guys,
Look at the teams. Look at the teams they've played and they've actually dismantled.
Southgate the Spurs.
Southgate to Tottenham.
Southgate to Tottenham would be so beautiful.
So are we actually going Turkey?
Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh, okay. All right. So then up to the quarterfinals, Denmark and Italy,
Italy.
at Bayern Munich.
Italy.
Italy.
Yeah, I think Italy will win that.
Italy are one of my 4 teams to get to the semi-finals.
Portugal,
Spain.
Spain, and Russia.
Spain and Portugal.
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 That
Yeah.
Spain squad is average at best.
Yes.
Wales and Germany at Rome.
Germany.
Hate
Germany.
me to say it.
Yeah,
But
sorry.
can I
Germany
just say,
will win
look,
that.
something on the screen right now is absolutely beautiful.
The fact that we got Wales to a quarter-final place.
Yes, once again over England.
Right. Will Turkey do one
France.
over France and Baku?
No, definitely.
No, actually,
No.
Turkey and Baku though.
Ooh.
It's quite funny actually because all 3 of the obviously we were all arguing for ages about Group F between those 3 teams, but all 3 of them obviously if France do go through in this match, all 3 of them are going to be in the semi-finals.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah.
I've picked the same 4 semi-final teams. I've went France, Germany, Portugal, Italy. They're my
Yeah.
semi-final teams. So
Yeah,
there's
I
my
think-
run.
spoiler.
I think France will definitely go through against Turkey. Sadly.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. I actually think Turkey will do it, but we'll go with that. Italy and Portugal at Wembley.
Portugal.
This is where I'm going
Portugal.
to. This is where I'm going to turn it around. Italy, Germany final.
Interesting.
I'm going to go.
Disagree.
I agree. I'm going to agree with Reece. I'm going to go with Italy.
I think Portugal.
I think Portugal.
Portugal.
Portugal win by domestic vote.
It's all
Ger-
right, Josh. We know. Sorry, Josh, we know.
Germany and France at Wembley.
And France.
Germany, easy.
I think he'll go to extra time, but Germany will just nick it.
I think it's going to be a repeat of the final from 2016. I'm going France.
France. I think Germany win. I think from what I'm able to tell.
Germany will just edge it. It's Jacob Love's last tournament.
I'm going Germany to win 2-0 in 90 minutes.
I'm going France. Who did you say, George?
It's three for France. 2 for
France.
Germany.
Of course, he's going to say France.
I do respect France getting to the final. To be fair,
and then the final at Wembley, Portugal and France.
Two countries I couldn't give a toss about, but I'll put Portugal for my Bruno Fernandes penalty.
France.
Portugal, and there we go. So we have got Portugal winning the Euros.
How funny would it be though if they do defend the Euros though? They'd have the longest European reign in years.
It would be quite funny. But I'll clip this and I'll put this on a video, and we'll definitely get that going. But that is all we have time for on tonight's podcast. Thank you to Josh, Nathan, Reece, and George as always. Thank you very much.
I'm giving a shout to Keane. I'm giving a shout to Keane because he's on my wavelength. He says Germany to win the final, but he said Portugal, but never mind. But he said Germany, so he gets my acknowledgement.
Connor, what's wrong with this prediction?
It's because he's let him get salty. It's because we've said Scotland, England aren't getting far.
He's Welsh.
But that was a mutual decision.
He's Welsh. He's Welsh.
Then maybe it's, I don't know what it is then. Probably because we put Italy in the semi-finals. Who knows?
Oh, maybe. But yeah, big thank you to everyone who's donated the super chat for the first time ever. Josh, Liam Carson, Cian Dolan, and Liz Golden. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. As well, Josh, you have a little bit of news to share with everybody.
Yes, well, this is more 99.999% confirmed, but this will likely be my final time on the podcast. As when we do come back, probably in July, August. I think my work hours will be up more. I'll be starting at 4 o'clock. I'll be starting at 3 o'clock in the morning every morning instead of 6 o'clock like I'm doing now. I just will not be able to stay up late, so I may be online again, but I don't know. I don't think I'll be on permanently as much. So that's just the way it is with work, and when now that COVID's slowly but surely going away and we get back to normal life, I just unfortunately can't be able to manage everything without overwhelming my brain. And yeah, I've learned over the last few weeks not to overwhelm myself, so I can't force myself to be on here if I can't be it along with work.
Naturally, yeah,
totally understandable. But you will always be welcome back on here with open arms. I think is safe to say. Yeah. Nathan, thank you very much for coming back on as well.
That's quite all right. Thanks for having me on all season. It's been amazing. And yeah, boy, am I going to miss this podcast. Hopefully we can do more during the Euros and towards next season as well. Can't wait.
Yeah, we'll definitely still do some Jesus, I can't speak tonight. Still do some content on the Euros.
Can I ask your chat having done quickly about my channel?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Right. So for everyone who probably knows by now, as you can see it on my hoodie, I'm a Glenavon supporter, and I'm able to go to the Glenavon game for the first time tomorrow. It's a night kickoff and it's a must win. Would anyone watch like if I did a vlog of my day, actually, basically from when I wake up and go to work all the way through, when I go to the Glenavon game, I just want to see, because it's something I'll do if anyone will watch it. So just
if you include Hero Am game.
Well, Harris tonight will be in it for time lapses and all. Yes.
If you include that, then absolutely.
Yeah, Bluebird Legend is saying do a vlog. So and Jag Mac is saying yes. Kieran John Meisel is saying yes as well. So yep, I think that's kind of sorted that one. Reece, thank you very much for coming back on as well as always, and good to see Milan back in the Champions League for sure.
Yeah, long overdue. Long overdue. Yeah.
And George,
it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Thanks, mate.
Absolutely. You're very, very welcome. George, thank you.
And I've never missed a podcast as well.
George, thank you very much for coming on to these podcasts. You will be more than welcome to come back and even come on as a permanent now that obviously Josh is not coming back on. But yeah, what have these podcasts kind of made you feel more confident in front of camera?
Very much so, Doug. Thank you for having me on for so many shows, and it would be a pleasure to come as a regular on here. Just a very quick thing as well, though, to Josh. I think you've provided wonderful entertainment for us over the many months, particularly of this pandemic. Being such a great co-host for Doug on these podcasts, I think I can speak for absolutely everyone and say that it's been amazing. The work that you've done on this channel, Josh. So it's just a real shame to sort of lose you. I know obviously you've got work, so you have to go where that takes you. But you should be very proud of what you've done, Josh. It's been fabulous.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. But yeah, guys, we will be back in July. We will be back with more podcasts, and just obviously stay tuned. And the content will still continue over the Euros as well.
And you never know, you might see a new YouTube channel. You never know.
Oh,
come on, Reece, come on.
Also, I'd like to ask a question. Would people want me to do watch-alongs for the Euros?
I've already said if you do Germany games, I call dibs on you. If there's Germany games, I call dibs on you.
I think definitely for the Scotland ones, Doug. Obviously, I wouldn't mind doing England ones as well. But I think as many watch-alongs as you could do would be. That was what I was going to suggest, maybe in the group chat and stuff, or sort of bring it up. But I think it would be very, very good. Yeah.
Oh, but Northern Ireland. Oh, wait.
You know what we should do? This is what we should do, right? For the World of Football podcast is. We do a watch along for Scotland England games on the Friday night, isn't it? It's on the Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should do a watch along for Scotland versus England. And I reckon we should do a watch along for maybe Portugal, Germany. I think that'll be a crucial one, I think, overall. I think we should do one for the let's say the first semi-final. And then the finals, potentially 4 or 5, I reckon we could do. Certain games that would really stand out. I would actually watch that watch along.
Connor's asking to be in your Euros.
I'll figure something out, guys. I might do a phone in maybe at half time and during the end. So if anyone's joining,
that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I might embark on a channel business.
Leave it with me. But yeah, until then, thank you very, very much for watching. Thank you for all the super chats. I really do appreciate it. Being monetized is absolutely fantastic. And the content will continue from the 5 of us. It is good night.